From the days of Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, America has applauded and rewarded those individuals who've had the ability and the courage to turn their visions into successful business realities. Every generation, every industry has had its entrepreneurial leaders. For more than 4 decades in the food service equipment industry, one of those leaders was Jerry Moss.
One thing I've always told people when I get into entrepreneurial discussions, they always say, well, look, how did you do this? Or how would you go about doing this if somebody else wants to try to do it? And I said, well, number one, you need to know and understand the industry that you're in. Number two, you need to find a need and fill it. And if you can do something as simple as that, give them a product that they can't buy anyplace else, which provides a value to the buyer, you got a business.
Jerry's understanding of the food service business began way back in the 1950s when he and his family owned and operated a Chicken Delight franchise. And in those days, the need that needed filling was his own.
We were 75% delivery type business to the home. And if you're familiar with the climate in Wisconsin, in the wintertime it was hard to deliver something and keep it hot. So I started to talk to some wire people. I found out about heating cable. We played with it and put it into some insulated containers, and we realized that we had something special. The next thing is we were in the manufacturing business. It started out in the first year, and I landed a reasonable chain account with, we all know today as Kentucky Fried Chicken, but in the early days, they were in the roast beef business. And we had already discovered that roast beef was something that we could hold very, very well. And so I proceeded to go after Arby's and some of these other people. One of the customers that we were dealing with was a very upmarket type of chain featuring and selling prime rib. And so I met with them, and their question was, can you hold it overnight? And I had to think about that for a minute or two, and I said, well, we've never tried it.
Jerry proceeded to try it and found that by simply adding better temperature controls, his warmer would not only hold the roasts overnight, but actually improve them with natural tenderizing. The new holding cabinet was a success.
And, kind of like the little light went on in my brain, why can't we cook it and hold it? And I went back to our factory. By then I had 4 or 5 people working for me, and I proceeded to try to learn how to cook prime rib.
Opinions differ on Jerry's skills as a chef, but when his new line of low-temperature cooking and holding equipment was introduced at the 1970 NRA show, Halo Heat was a huge hit. The Halo Heat principle was soon applied to more products, and before long, Alto-Shaam equipment could be found in restaurants, hotels, institutions, and supermarkets everywhere.
My father bought a second-hand Alto-Shaam oven back in the late 70s. It's made us unique in the marketplace because we do offer such a wide variety of hot entrees and hot foods.
It was ingrained in us way back in the early 70s. Take care of your customer and make sure that they have what they need to be successful in their endeavor. That's a customer that will come back and buy other products from us as he grows in his own business.
By the 80s, the company had entered the international market. In kitchens around the world, the name Alto-Shaam had become synonymous with low-temperature cooking. But Jerry wasn't content.
I thought, okay, we're great for prime rib restaurants and maybe for restaurants that feature roast beef, but there's a lot of other business out there.
Jerry's insatiable desire to seek out new market opportunities led to an idea that had some within Alto-Shaam questioning his judgment: the Combi-Therm oven.
To me, it seemed to be a natural addition to what we were doing, and I wanted to introduce this product in the United States. And a lot of people thought, you're out of your mind. We're selling low temperature cooking. You're bringing in a high temperature device. How does that fit with what we're selling? And on and on and on. And even my brothers were questioning my sanity at the time. Needless to say, I fought my way through all the criticism and pretty much said, this is what we're going to do.
The Combitherm wasn't to be just another product in Alto-Shaam's catalog, however. In the early 90s, Alto-Shaam introduced its totally integrated rack management system. For the first time, hotels, convention centers, cruise ships, and casinos were able to turn out large quantities of high-quality meals in record time.
We'd like to think that if we give you the product that's going to do the best job and is going to give you the best life cycle, if people can see that argument, then you've got a way to sell them.
Obviously, a lot of people have seen that argument. Despite ever-increasing competition, Alto-Shaam's position in the market has only grown stronger.
And so, even though, yes, there's a lot of competitors out there, no, there are very few people, none that I know of, that do the job that we do.
While for nearly half a century, Jerry Moss personified Alto-Shaam, it had always been a family business. When Steve Moss assumed leadership in 2004, he brought to the job more than 20 years of hands-on experience in every aspect of the company's operations.
You know, I grew up here. I've done every position within the organization. I've lived this business, this company, and this industry from day one. I've seen it evolve, I've seen it change, and it's all I know. My goal and my quest was to basically carry on and build upon and improve what he had begun. Because again, it has our name on it. And I'm pretty passionate about that.
Under Steve Moss's leadership, not only has Alto-Shaam retained its position as a premier manufacturer of food service equipment, today it is a $100 million privately held company with a global presence and no debt.
In our board meetings, a lot of our board members would ask me, well, what is Alto-Shaam? And they would say, well, are you a marketing company? Are you an engineering company? Are you a manufacturing company? My response was, well, why do I only have to be one? From the beginning, the emphasis always was on providing the highest quality of product with the highest level of value-added services, and that has not changed. We're just doing it more efficiently.
Being privately held, Alto-Shaam has had the freedom to make capital investments in new manufacturing, engineering, R&D, and other capabilities at a time when public companies couldn't.
We don't have the pressure of quarterly earnings statements. We don't have the pressure of stockholders and shareholders outside of my sister and myself. So that allows us to make decisions for the future versus the future being the next quarter.
Another advantage of Alto-Shaam's private ownership is the company's ability to listen and to respond quickly to customer needs.
Rather than sitting in our fishbowl here and designing a product to what we think the customer wants, we actually partner with the end user to address the customer's needs of what they actually are versus what we think they are.
And while private ownership has not insulated Alto-Shaam from the market pressures of a global economy, it has allowed the company to meet those challenges on its own terms.
A shared philosophy that I feel Jerry and I both have or had is the fact that what really makes a business or a company is its employees. When we researched expanding, offshore, all of the references that we were given were companies that closed in Wisconsin or the United States and relocated. And we were never going to do that. When I think about the future for Alto-Shaam, I think about a continued commitment to product quality and innovation, a continuing commitment to growing and maintaining our long-term customer relationships. Part of being competitive in a global marketplace is more than just lean manufacturing. I think all employees realize that we're on a never-ending quest to continually improve everything we do. Employees like it at Alto-Shaam. They feel they're treated well, they're treated fair, and it goes back to it's not just family owned, but I'd like to think we're all one big family working towards one common goal. And it's working. And it's working very well.